Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I was watching this video. It says, the title of the video, it says China and the End Times Prophecy Points. And this lecture was presented by a non-Muslim. He is a Christian, looks like, and he made some very interesting points about the end of time. The signs are here according to him, according to the Bible. So let's take a listen at this video, and then inshallah we'll be making a few comments, because this video he will be talking mostly about politics, and he will try to relate today's politics with the coming of the end of time. So take a look at this video.
Okay, so in some ways, I think as we look at our culture today, we look at what's going on in the world today, and someone says these are signs of the times, they say, oh, give me a break. I've heard that before. They've been saying Jesus is coming forever and nothing has really changed. No, actually, a lot of things have changed.
Okay, so one thing I want to make mention right off the bat is that both Muslims and Christians, looks like when it comes to the end of time, the alamat tasa, they are completely oblivious. Okay, a lot of them, they do not even want to talk about this. Most people, they don't want to even believe that the world can come to an end and that there will be a Qiyamah, Day of Judgment. Christianity and Islam, the commonality that we have between these two religions, one of the commonalities that we have is that both Christians believe in the end of time and the Muslims. But as I said, the vast majority of the people, they are not able to see the future. They're not willing to look at the prophecies that talks about the end of time. Some people scientifically, they believe, however, that yes, the world will come to an end, but when it comes to, like, let's say this is what will happen in a particular time at this particular place, most people, they find it a matter of joke, and they find it very funny sometimes, and they make fun of those things. Oh, you believe in Jesus coming, or you believe in the coming of the Antichrist. They make fun of it. So this person, this guy, he is again a non-Muslim, trying his best to convince the people. So the way he will convince, it is not the way we convince mostly. Yes, we do use politics, international politics. Yes, we do talk about what China is doing, what Russia is doing, what the US is doing, and Israel is doing. However, these things are not an indication of what will exactly happen in the end of time, a direct indication, I should say. Yes, they tell us when the world will have a WW3 that I mentioned to you guys in this channel a lot, but they do not really tell us that if this happens, for example, if Russia invades China or US attacks China or Russia, then this will be a sign of the end of time. We do not say those things. The role that will be played by these countries will be very, very minimum. In fact, only in the Bible, in the Old Testament, I believe, they say Russia is, as I said in my past videos, Russia is the Gog, and people like Iran, Turkey, and in the region, they are Magog. So what about Muslims? What about Muslims and non-Muslims? They don't even mention our Islam, our faith. They said it is between Gog and Magog, means Russia and the rest of the world, not rest of the world, but China and Turkey and Russia. Then what will happen when the Gog and Magog will emerge? What is it that you guys are predicting, or what is the prophecy? What is the prophecy? Yes, we have Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj in both religion, but what is the role Yajuj and Majuj will play? According to them, according to the Bible, and if you're a non-Muslim, if you're a Christian, you can let me know, they believe that Gog and Magog, they are going to turn up against Israel, the state of Israel. They're going to go after them. But then, like, why they don't go after Israel right now, or why they did not go in the past? Why it is taking so long for Gog and Magog to get rid of the state of Israel, when the state of Israel really built from nothing? They were not even in existence. Only few years ago, we can count them back to the date, exact date. So how come Israel now all of a sudden became so powerful, and Gog and Magog, they allowed it to happen right in front of their eyes? I don't understand that logic. But again, if you are somebody who is a Christian, you can definitely share that with me. Let's take a listen a little bit more.
I believe we're living in the last days. And then there's the emergence of China. Make no mistake about it, not only is China an economic superpower, they are now a military superpower as well, and they're becoming more aggressive and will be even more so in the future. You can count on that. They just launched massive Navy drills with 40 warships in the South China Sea. So add to Russia and China, these rogue nations now like Iran and North Korea threatening the world. Then there's the ongoing threat of Islamic terrorism.
Okay, so another word he used, rogue nation, as you can see him right here. Why are you saying they are rogue nation? Because they are not based on capitalism. They don't follow capitalism. Is this the reason you are saying they're rogue nation? I don't know. For some very weird reason, they don't like anybody who do not follow capitalism, who do not follow democracy. They don't like it, and they call them evil. Why? I mean, every country has their own system, and they're doing pretty good in most cases without democracy. So the problem again is that they pinpoint some country, not because those countries are evil in terms of religious practices, but because these countries don't follow capitalism or democracy. Russia, in fact, they are very, very Christian. They're more Christian than US. Russia follow the Bible, okay, when it comes to, for example, LGBT and many other filthy stuff that the Western country, they have approved and legitimized. Russia, they don't follow it. They say this is something we do not accept, that we do not take. This is not our religion. So really, it's not them. You have to also look into the mirror and ask yourself, is this the guy of God? Is this somebody who is worshiping true God? Or is this somebody who is just making up stuff and throwing it out just because he is so powerful and he can do that? So something very, very strange.
And there's all these advances in technology that are not being used for good things. Everything we do is recorded. Now, we've always known that, but I think we've become more aware of this, especially in light of the fact that Facebook reported the data of 87 million people improperly shared. We realize people can get into our information, hack our information, and someone with sinister motives could use that for some very bad things. And one day that person will come on the scene. He's known as the Antichrist. Then there's the weaponization of space. Many of China's space capabilities are designed to counter U.S. military advantages, and that's why our country recently launched a space war center.
Okay, so I want to say something here. He said that the system that we have, Facebook, for example, they are collecting our data, personal information, and he is comparing that with the system of the Dajjal, because this is what he said. This is the Antichrist, according to them. For us, it's the Dajjal in Arabic. So there is similarity. People are very suspicious about the technology that we're using from both Muslim community and also from the Christian community. In fact, the Christian, they have this movement where they are actually protesting. They're saying we need more freedom, and that this social media, Facebook or Google or whatever, they cannot track us down or pinpoint exactly what we are doing on a daily basis, because these people, they know exactly what you're doing, according to this movement. So they are comparing this whole system, the Dajjalic system, with Antichrist, and I think this is this is true. Even for the Muslims, we are very suspicious. But here is the thing. I believe our religion also teaches us that yes, you can be suspicious about them and you have to be careful, because these are duwatu an-nar. Rasulullah said they will be calling you from the gate of hellfire. Now, we put our trust in Allah at the end of the day, and we believe nothing can harm us except with the permission of Allah. So their belief, the Christian, they don't see it that way. You see, they do not have that connection with God where they can make dua, they can ask Allah to protect them from this fitan. They find themselves trapped. Okay, for them the situation is more desperate, and this is why you see most of the Christian, they don't follow their religion at all. The religion is gone. Why? Because they don't see a solution. They see problem. Yes, they go close to the God. They go to the church and they make prayer, but they don't do it the way we do it. We ask directly from God. This is what I need. This is what I need. I mean, this is. If you don't give it to me, I'll be in trouble. We ask. We demand. We are with 100% confidence. We ask God to provide for us. They don't do it. They go and pray to God and they feel good in their heart and that's it. Where is your asking from God? Okay, so this is what I want to address, that dear my sister, as believers, our understanding of the Dajjalic system is different in that sense than the Christians.
Counter threats from space that has been militarized by nations like China and Russia. We are literally headed to Star Wars in a very technical sense. Maybe this is why the famous doomsday clock was moved forward in January of this year. And because of all of these threats and new developments, they say it's now 2 minutes to midnight.
Actually,
the closest it's ever been. In other words, this group of atomic scientists are saying because of the level of threat and recent developments, we're 2 minutes till an all-out nuclear exchange.
So doomsday clock is being readjusted every year. I believe it happens in January. Last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, this year too, the clock was close to, I think it was exactly 100 seconds. So basically means if the clock is close to 12, then we are at the end of time, like the nuclear war has already taken place. But if you are away from 12 o'clock, which could be in 11:59, 11:58, that means you are still safe. But you are very close, but you're still safe. He's saying that we are 2 minutes close, and this has never happened in the past. But if you check on Google, you'll find that we are in actually 100 seconds. So that will make it 1 minute and 40 seconds, not 2 minutes. Something I wanted to point out.
So that's not theologians saying it, that's atomic scientists saying it. And then there's the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. So we scratch our head and we say, what in the world is going on? Ready for the answer? We're racing toward Armageddon. It's like everything is being sped up, moving rapidly toward what the Bible calls the end of days or the last days. Jesus compared it to labor pains. You girls know who've had children that as you got closer to the moment of delivery, your labor pains got closer together, right? And Jesus said that's how it would be in the end times. There would be these warnings, these things that would remind us it's coming. But as we got closer to the actual unfolding of prophetic events, these labor pains or these warning signs would get closer and closer together. And I think we're seeing that happen before us right now. So what are we supposed to do? Remember, Jesus said, when you see these things begin to happen, freak out. Right? You read that verse? Yeah, I haven't either. He said, when you see these things begin to happen, do what? Look up. Look up, for your redemption is drawing near. What does that mean? It means look to heaven and be reminded of this, that God is in control. And because of this, we need to know what is happening in our world. This is also called eschatology, the study of end times events. Some would say, well, you really can't understand all of that. It's far too complex. I could not disagree more. In fact, Jesus said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, we'll define what that is later, he says, let the reader understand. Isn't it interesting? So he's talking about a prophetic event that is still in the future, and Jesus says, let the reader understand. Why would it say that if I couldn't understand it? And what does the word revelation mean? It means unveiling. The unveiling. So it is God's desire to reveal, not to conceal. It's to put in plain view, not to hide from us. So we don't have to be afraid of this topic. And in addition, there is a special blessing in Revelation promised to the person who reads the things in the book, hears the things that
I'll not play the video anymore, but I want to make one final point, which is that when you see all these fitan taking place right now, as we see them, our responsibility, as he said, look up to the heaven. It's very similar to our prophecy. Rasulullah he said, if you find yourself in this turmoil, then hold on to your jama'ah, okay, the congregation, the Muslim community, hold on to it. If you don't find them supportive, then hold on to a stem of the tree, even if you have to bite on it. So in other words, hold on to your, I should say, stab of the tree. Hold on to your religion and do not let it loose, otherwise you'll be in big trouble. Thank you guys for tuning in, for joining in. Inshallah, I'll see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.